Hi everyone, this is Christine. It's Thursday, January 12, 2017. And I'm going to share another overview of my week 3 on OMAD. I have to give you forewarning, this week 3 was awful for me. I really struggled this whole week, so I'm kind of glad I'm kind of glad the week is over, and tomorrow I get to start on week 4, to start all over again with a clean slate, because this was a tough and a rough week for me, week 3, in regard to OMAD. Hi everyone, this is Christine again. I wanted to give you another update, only this time on week 3, and this video will be a lot longer than last week's report, as I have more to share regarding week 3 than I did week 2. I was feeling depressed actually the first day of week 3. I was still at a plateau, and in my depression ended up using that first day as a first splurge day. So I hadn't done any splurge days week 1 and 2. This is what I used to do when I was sad or upset. I would go to food and use it to comfort myself, and the more pain I was going through, the more I ate, hence weight gain. I have to be careful not to fall into that trap again. I will see how the rest of this week goes, and I will give a report as the week progresses. I hope everyone else is doing well. Day 2, and I went down on the scale instead of holding steady. This makes no sense to me, as yesterday I decided to do my first splurge day. I did not go crazy with food. I simply ate about twice as many calories as I normally would have eaten in a day, because I am calorie counting, and I did not eat during my 1 hour mealtime window only. I ate later in the day also. But I had whatever I wanted, only in smaller portions, and I still ended up losing today, the day after, which again made no sense to me. I am wondering if these splurge days really do work, as this is my first attempt at one, and I totally did it on a leap of faith, so to speak. But I may do this splurge day again in another 2 weeks, or maybe when I hit my next plateau. I don't know yet. I'll have to see. This was just a very interesting experiment. Well, I totally fell off the bandwagon today. This is the next day, and went crazy. I ate around 2,200 to 2,300 calories today. I was stressing out during the day, and as a result caved in and went to food again to make the pain or the stress go away. This is not how a splurge day is supposed to be used, though. I think Joe from the OMAD Revolution channel on YouTube would say that this is probably a misuse and an abuse of a splurge day. I did a splurge day both yesterday and today as a result of a last-minute caving in to get a fix, and this was not good. But I'm going to let this be a learning lesson for me and not beat myself up over it. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up with a clean slate and get back on track. I don't want to get too rigid, though, with this OMAD program, because it is supposed to be intermittent fasting, meaning you do it intermittently. It is not set in stone, so to speak, nor is it unchangeable. You do have some flexibility. But I do have to keep some consistency with it, otherwise it totally defeats the purpose of even doing this. Rather than rigidly controlling my OMAD program, though, I would rather it be more natural and free-flowing for me, somewhat effortless with a few struggles or temptations. That is actually my goal, to make it more second nature. How realistic that is, though, remains to be seen. But that is what I'm aiming for, to make it less of a struggle or less of an uphill battle type of feeling. I have found in life in general that anytime you force things, they tend to break. So I don't want to go forcing this OMAD on myself, the OMAD program. Rather, I just want things to flow naturally and effortlessly, and keep an open hand about it and not stress too much over it. I also really need to find a better way to deal with stress, though, just in general, instead of running to food to fix my problems. It is in essence a way of hiding behind food because I don't want to face or deal with the stress or pain. But this is not a good coping mechanism, as running to food to deal with stress is what landed me in this position of being overweight in the first place. I really do need to find a way to better deal with this area of my life. Well, tomorrow is a new day and we will see what happens. I plan on letting the last 2 days just go and float away and just start over again with a clean slate for the day and get back on track. I just have to remind myself that I am in control, not the food and not the stress. Well, it is tomorrow, and yesterday I did get back on track. And I got back on the bandwagon, so to speak, and it showed. I went a little crazy though with chocolate. With chocolate yesterday though, but not eating it, just buying it. I kind of bought it so I would have a stash. Christmas chocolates in the store were gosh, this is embarrassing, and it's also, it shows you where my mind is. Christmas chocolates were on clearance, because in January Christmas is over and everybody's trying to get rid of their chocolates. The stores are. Christmas chocolates are on sale, so I stocked up because they were cheap, and I put it in my little stash area where I keep chocolates for those days, chocolates and such, for those days when I want a piece of chocolate. I don't eat the whole candy bar, I just eat like a piece of it. But this way, if I have it in the house, I don't have to go out and buy it. I am not planning on eating it, I just like knowing that it's there for comfort. This has to be some type of eating disorder, I am thinking. I think this video is probably the only one where I'm really opening up to people, and I am not sure I like this. I am a little embarrassed about the whole thing, to tell you the truth. But this is what happened to me this week, week 3, and I have to be honest about my week. I don't want to sugarcoat things and say that everything is fine, when in reality I feel like I am wobbling a bit. I need to get myself back on solid ground footing again, and I know it, and that is what I did yesterday. I plan on continuing with it today, the calorie restriction and better eating again, and I want to leave those 2 splurge days earlier in the week behind me. I don't know if I am ready for splurge days just yet. I probably am not. I better not set myself up for failure like that. I think I better just do my best to stay the course for right now and not allow myself to get deviated. Not until I feel I have stronger food legs to stand on, so to speak. Well, getting back on track lasted 1 day. I've been snacking all day today, the day after. It's the next day. I feel like I stayed the course yesterday, but I feel like I'm out of control again, and I don't know if I can do this, guys. Tomorrow is a new day. Let's see if I can get back on track again. If not, I think I'm going to scratch this entire week. It has been just awful for me in regard to OMAD this week. I feel like I just slid right back down into the mud pit again, and any positive progress I made in the previous 2 weeks has just gone down the drain for week 3. So I guess this is a 4th failed attempt. Maybe I am not cut out for this, I don't know. Let's see how tomorrow goes. Well, today is the next day, and it is 2 days before the end of week 3, when week 3 comes to an end. And I think I'm going to have to chalk this week up as one big learning lesson. I went crazy again with food today, mainly snacking. It is a slippery slope if a person does not have their own set of brakes to stop them, and you will end up sliding to the bottom of the pit again very quickly. The nice thing is you can pick yourself up and get yourself out of the pit as quickly as you landed in it, which I did the next day. The next day is here, and I have started over again with a clean slate this morning, and while it was difficult to get back up on my feet again, I did it. I had my meal from between 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and I did not eat anything else for the rest of the day. I still feel like I will have to chalk this week up, though, as a learning lesson week. This week was very difficult for me. I want to think positive, though, as I know things can only get better because I am not going to allow them to get worse. I will see how much damage I did this week when I weigh myself tomorrow morning. Regardless of the results, I will be glad this week 3 is over for me. This was a tough week for me, one of feeling very unsteady and wobbly, and it was just not comfortable for me at all. I think I just need to learn how to get more sturdy legs in regard to OMAD, eating, and food in general. I will talk to you all tomorrow, and then we'll make my overview video on this past week. I'm embarrassed, though, at how this entire week has turned out so far, and I think this is going to be a tough video for me to make. See you or talk to you then. Well, today is the last day of week 3, and to tell you the truth, I am happy for it. I'm happy to leave this past week behind, but not before it does its job of becoming a learning lesson for me first. You could take a guess that I gained this week overall. The odd thing is, when I got back on track yesterday, I lost again. It only takes one day of getting back on track after you fell off the bandwagon, so to speak, to right yourself, and I'm realizing that. This will also be a slow, long, drawn-out process. I feel that already within me. Like the turtle and the hare, the children's storybook, slow and steady wins the race. And that is what I'm going to have to do. Don't be the hare or the rabbit in the story who goes fast. Instead, be the turtle. And eventually, with patience and consistency, you will reach your finish line. Well, I think that's it for this week. Or that's all I have for this week, guys. Thanks for letting me share. Have a great day, everyone, and a great rest of your week and weekend. And I will talk to you again soon in the next video, whenever that is. Bye for now.